you don't take care of your body, you're not gonna make it to your senior year. You're not gonna get picked up by the little D1 school that you're looking, and the little numbers you had on max preps is not gonna mean anything because you're injured. You got hurt. Red shirt. You're done. That's it. All right, this is it right here. Hey guys, what's going on this earth? Thanks for tuning in. Today's topic is going to be something near and dear to me because I and many students that I went to school with have suffered the same thing, and anyone that I've met before has always had some type of story to tell me about how they got injured back in the past and how it affects them now. So today's topic is going to be prehab and rehab with a main focus in high school and college sports. So if you are an athlete and you're going to school right now, you want to play sports, or you have kids that are going to be going to school playing sports, especially spring's coming up, so baseball, volleyball, lacrosse, like a lot of these sports are coming up, and many of our kids and student athletes need to be in shape so that way they can perform, but more importantly, they can be safe. So let's talk about it. First one is going to be prehab. What is prehab? Prehab is defined as participation in therapy-based movements and exercises in order to avoid injury, decrease pain, or to prepare for a surgery. It is known as a proactive approach and can address deficits in strength, stability, range of motion, balance, and overall joint function. Now that's prehab. What do you think rehab is? It's the same thing, but it's usually post-injury or post-surgery. It is more towards recovery because think about it, right? A prehab is something that you want to add to your body so that way you can be better and be ready. I'm not saying that you add prehab to someone who's already healthy because not everyone who starts off playing sports has all those things. Not everyone is super strong. Not everyone is super agile, super joint functional, super, like all of these things. So they still have to gain it. And if you do have it and then you get injured and you lose like a good portion of it, you still have to gain it again. So that's what it is. Prehab is something specialized for you to obtain so you can be better. And then rehab is something that you have to do so that way you can come back to being better. Does that make sense? Now I say this because going through school, and this is a little bit about my story, going through school in high school, even earlier parts of, like my career, none of us know how to properly work out. Like none of us went to a D1 school. I don't know about you, but I didn't go to a D1 school. And even if you do go to college, most people go to JUCO, and that's like average training. Not everyone has the funding, the staff, or the knowledge to really implement all these things so that way the athletes can get better. Mind you, I went to school back in the early 2000s, so my coaches were born like in the 60s, some even in the 50s. So the way that they would train us was something that they learned from when they were growing up, and it was very linear. Now, coach, if you're watching this, listen, I'm not saying anything. You're an awesome coach, but I'm just saying though. Let's talk about it. Most people that went to high school or they went to a college, and they did not have the funding, the staffing, they didn't have the equipment, and the coaches didn't have the knowledge for whatever reason it may be. It just means that they didn't get the most versus going against schools that had all of those things. Schools where the teams would go out and they basically had like 10, 15 staff members with people carrying water and then tape, and you have your physical therapist, you have your coach, your assistant coach, assistant to the assistant coach, offensive, you name it, right? Even some of the schools have like 6 cheerleader coaches. Like we didn't have that. Most schools that we went to, especially that I went to, we had to do the same thing. Like our coach who was in charge, who was teaching science at lunch, driver's ed in the afternoon, he ran the booster club, he was the head coach, he was the assistant to the head coach. So he was everything. But you guys get my drift though, right? What I'm trying to say is that many schools don't have the opportunities and they don't have the outlets to really provide for their student athletes. So where does that leave us, right? High school every year is like a $5 billion. Like they make $5 billion on average, and then college obviously make more. They're like in the 7, 8s. Now that's gonna differ from your high collegiate Ivy schools versus the ones that are not, right? Like your D1s, D3s, and however the levels are rated in schools. So I say this because if you're an athlete and you want to perform, whether you're trying to go to a higher school, you're trying to get picked up, you need to assess a few things if you want to make it there. Because I know you probably not listening to me right now, but being redshirted may not be as bad as you think, right? Coaches have to make a decision to whether the person is ready to play or not. And in America, we already have the mentality for bigger, faster, stronger. It is much easier for coaches to redshirt someone and put someone much better than them for whatever reason. Sometimes, like for example, you could be a top tier athlete who plays basketball or volleyball, right? And then you play, but because your body was not primed or not strong enough, and you had bad joints, bad ligaments, you had weak muscles that you did not take care of before you start playing, you get hurt and you get injured. It's much easier for the coach to be like, all right, like, listen, we're gonna redshirt you, we're gonna put you to the side, we're gonna put somebody in, and they're gonna perform, and then whenever you get recovered, you come back in. Some schools have that quote, recovered personnel. So when you get injured, you go to your physical therapist, they give you medicine, they do all this stuff to your muscles, they ice you. But if you don't have those outlets, what happens? You get an ice pack, you wrap it one time underneath your socks, and then you go home. You don't have insurance, so you just pop pills, ibuprofen, until you get back. You don't know what exercises to make your knees, whatever joint it is that you got injured, to be better. And if you went to the doctor, like, it's gonna cost a lot of money. So let's get straight into it. Here are some notes that I wrote down because I didn't want to forget it. If you're a student, I will literally just, two things I'll say to you. If you're a student, two things I'll tell you right now so that way you can better prepare yourself. Student athlete, I should say. The first one is going to be to take care of your body, so eat, sleep, and train. So what that means is, if you do not take care of your body at this age, when you're younger, you're still a freshman in high school and you got 4 years to go. If you don't take care of your body, you're not gonna make it to your senior year. You're not gonna get picked up by the little D1 school that you're looking, and the little numbers you had on max preps is not gonna mean anything because you're injured. You got hurt. Red shirt. You're done. That's it. I know you want to get the extra points so you can make it, but I promise you right now, man, your body, you only have one of it, so really take care of it. That's all I'm going to say. You don't do you, right? So if you don't listen to this, don't listen to this, but definitely use the internet for some outlets, because right now you can just go on Instagram and you can look up stuff and it'll pop up. And actually at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to look at stuff. So that way you can kind of follow through. And for the coaches out there, I only have two things, coach. Two things is, you may not have the specialty to really train a lot of athletes. Like, you might have strength training, but like back then it was just deadlift, bench, squat, and like maybe overhead press with all barbells. And then teaching people how to power clean. These 14-year-olds don't know how to power clean. Like, they don't know how to power clean, not properly. And if so, they're just trying to push numbers because they're homie. They want to impress their homies. So listen, just make sure you humble them down. Give them safe techniques, safe workouts if you can. And I say this more towards coaches and staffs who do not have the money, do not have the resources, because that's usually some of the problems, And I know it's probably not easy, but just help us out, because I know I suffered through injuries and no one taught me. They just placed us in the gym, and then they gave us a little piece of paper with the workouts on it, no form. They just came back like 45 minutes later, and then shit. If I was hurt, I wouldn't have said anything, but I'm young. I was young at the time, And also, knowing your athletes, your student athletes' limits, because they're gonna keep pushing. They want to make you proud. At the end of the day, you know them better than anyone else. So if they're just not fit for it, like, tell them the rest, tell them the importance, and just really foot stomp it. So that's about it, folks. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Remember, Prehab is what you do so that way you can be better specialized, and you can always look at Google, Instagram, YouTube to look at specialized training, literally for whatever it may be that you are playing, the sport. There's so much in this internet, man. There's so much. And in Rehab, Hopefully we never have to talk about rehab. Hopefully you guys stay healthy, take care of your bodies, yeah, and enjoy the sport. Enjoy being young, enjoy being healthy. Number one. So other than that, thanks for watching. I am gonna go to Instagram now, and I'm gonna show y'all a little something, so that way you guys can keep track on some of the sports and some of the things that you can use yourself, so you can prepare yourself for all the sports coming up this year. Thanks for watching this Urs. I'm out. Instagram profile right now, and I want to show you how you can research for information, so that way you can prep your body for the sport that you want to do, whether you just got off an injury or you want to train so that way you do not get injured, or you want to make that body part much stronger. There's a video of me getting into a fight with a whole bunch of wrestlers. Anyway, enough about me. So on the search bar, you want to go up and you want to put in hashtag and whatever it is you're looking for. So let's say you injured let's say you have tennis elbow, right? So let's put in, let's say tennis elbow treatment, right? Let's look at this one. Tennis elbow treatment. This should be rehab that you can use so that way your elbow can get better. So in here it says rehab. Here's a whole bunch. There's a lot of it. So let's look at this one. Tennis elbow rehab. At the bottom, you'll see little scrolls. So it tells you about the elbow, which part of the humerus, a little bit about the muscle. You're going down. This person is walking you through. This is actually from Dr. Jack Dockery. I think that's him. Whoa, go back. Okay. More to it. He explains why they're very important, if you have any questions. And he basically walks you through. Now, if you're talking like 20 years ago, like this was not in the internet as easy as it is today. Like I couldn't just turn on my phone and automatically go to prehab. I had to go see the doctor. We had to go get an x-ray. And now it's like literally in the palm of your hands. So you have all of these workouts that you can use. So prehab or rehab. Now let's take it another step further. Let's say you want to get better at a skill. Let's just say you're a soccer player and you want to do ladders, right? Ladder drills. We're gonna go ladder drills, and again, Instagram will show you drills that you can do for your ladder. Let's check out this girl right here. I don't know who this is. Addie Soccer 7 is out here busting out the ladder moves, right? And she has a whole bunch of them, as you can see in the bottom. This girl is going, man. Look at her. Man, she's even off the ground. She's doing zigzags. In and out. Bam. Cone. And she even got the ladder from the left, right, straight. This is awesome. So it only goes to show that when you on the internet or Instagram and other platforms, that you can learn literally at the palm of your hands for you to get better before injury. And even if you do get injured, you have the resources so for you to get better. Again, always seek a medical provider, a doctor, to tell you if there's something wrong, because they would know better. I'm not saying just because you get injured automatically turn on your phone and you'll be healed, but this is definitely a resource that we didn't have before that you have now that you can use. Man, I would have busted my face if I did this. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helped you. Other than that, man, y'all have a good one. Peace out. You like my shoes? Guns, man. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Who's this guy right here? All right.